All right, and okay, and all right, and okay, ladies and gentlemen, how are y'all doing today? Today is a good day on a Different View podcast. We have passed 600 folks. So now when I say it, us, the 600 strong and counting, who listen to, believe in, hey, right? Who believe in a different view. Y'all welcome in. Thank you for walking this road with me. Shout out to Spotify for podcasters for putting on a platform where people can talk about that which affects them today, will affect them tomorrow, and that has affected them in the past. Y'all welcome in. Today's topic, we're going to get into the definition of the word philosophy. Don't y'all think that this is going to get real wild? Let that defense in your mind go, right? We have had this spurred on from your boy seeing much discussion. And on this podcast, y'all, again, you know I'm Christian. We are about tearing down the tropes that has come up, unfortunately, in various communities. Because people do not want to listen to that which is the voice of truth. They are okay with staying inside the status quo and all that they think it is bringing them. When in reality, they are nothing more than, how do I say this? You know how you milking that cow? You just the udder on the cow. Some people, for the man, as we say on this podcast, right? Shout out to our black brothers and sisters, our so-called black brothers and sisters, right? Giving us that good terminology back in the 60s and 70s, man. Describing this mess to a T. And really some things from the 60s and 70s that came all the way from plantation life, right? The man using you, y'all. And the quicker you get to it, it don't matter Christian, Buddhist, Hinduist, pagan, Satanist, it don't matter who you is. Atheist, it don't matter who's you is. The game is to use you for them and not to share this thing mutually, right? Here on this podcast, we're about the opposite. A disciple, the definition, is a follower or a student of a teacher. We've gone over this before on this podcast. We're going to expand on the thought and tie in some things here that deal in this idea of following after certain things and separating yourself away. A follower or student of a teacher, leader, or philosopher. I'm done on this idea where they constantly just talk about the disciple in the context of the Abrahamic faiths, specifically Christianity. That's real small. Yeah, I know what our Christian brothers are going to say. That's real small. Just like we knew, talking about, we'll segue here for a second before we get into philosophy's definition. Because again, as we pose the question on this podcast, where are my teachers, leaders, and philosophers at? Where are y'all at? Because if you want disciples, y'all are going to have to start doing some more teaching, some more leading, and some more philosophizing, right? Just messing with the English language. For those who get in their feelings about the English language, y'all are speaking your captor's language. So however much originality you put on that is, of course, up to everyone to choose as they so choose. You know that is a thing here on this podcast. We stand for that, okay? But again, you're going to meet, we're going to meet different levels of opposition in our life, which is why when it comes to a debate thing, so as we go on in this, most people, that's the next thing they want to do. They want to talk to you about, See, again, right, your Bible tells you that something's supposed to give you profit. So we just debating back and forth over some mess. Listen, you believe what you do, I believe what I do, and we go on. There's no need to debate, right? The sun shining on the just and the unjust. There's no need to debate. This is hard for people to accept when you get into masses mentality, as we say on this podcast, of world domination, because that's what's involved. It's where you are degraded so someone else can be exalted. And normally the someone else definitely for sure ain't you. And it's definitely for sure somebody else above you or thinks themselves above you. So yeah, we got no time for that on here, man. This is about following after peace, love, righteousness, right? Being responsible toward each other. That's a real thing. So for the folks who got all upset about this whole Dionysus feast, why? I'm speaking as a Christian. Why are y'all upset? Oh, KJ, come on, man. They making fun of God here. That same thing with the Deadpool movie, too. Because you used the word MCU Jesus. We talked about it, and sure enough, there's videos already about it. Folks walking out the movie theater because they talk about the MCU Jesus. Oh, man. Hey, if y'all got such a problem, remove the word Jesus. Because listen. No, come on, because see, that's a little different. That's not the same. No. Since we all about this, nobody can't do nothing type of thing. Because this is what's going on. This is the dance that we play. Okay. God made this thing bountiful, giveth liberally for people to enjoy, and that their joy may be full. And yet y'all want to sit there and, oh, look, that looks like the Last Supper. Oh boy. Hey y'all, this you're looking at it live and in living color. This is no different than the Pharisees, Sadducees, chief priests, and scribes that we talk about, that you read in the Gospels. You got these Christians here. They are more legal minded than they are life minded. That's a real thing. And y'all got to learn how to deal with it. And in most cases, it's no different than what Jesus told folks when you're supposed to go into all the world and preach that good news, right? Evangelist. When they don't receive what you're saying, you don't see no go up in the house and tear up their house and make fun of them, tell them how much they're going to hell. You don't see none of that. Again, we talking on the topic of dealing with the Olympics here, in the idea of the disciple and what you learn, who you learn from, right? Y'all let this mess go. It's silly. It's just a pattern repeating itself. Are y'all gonna bite the bait? Or are you gonna keep on moving? Speaking on the Olympics, because this is one of these things that your boy wrote down here. Again, the Olympics is a good stuff. Are y'all enjoying it? Shout out to the 20-year-old, I think 20 or 21-year-old brother doing his thing on a pommel horse, man. Family dropped that off to me yesterday, man. This young European brother, right? I know, because we USA, we let go from where we come from. I understand. I know. We all know the hook and crook game going on in the United States. We get it. But this brother, whose name clearly shows that he is not, his last name is not, man. But let me see if I can. Oh man. Oh boy. Let's see. It may come up. Yeah. When you go to Google it, right? Pommel horse guy is all you gotta say. That's how popular it is. That's how much people have done it now, to the point they've searched it where this come up like this. Look at this kid's name, Steven Nedoroskic. Nedorosik. Can you tell me where the American is in it? Well, again, as we say on this podcast, maybe American is probably more appropriate than American. Definitely United Statesian, if you're gonna not recognize this kid's other cultures of who he is, man. I understand we got the cute catchphrases and everything that we got to say in front of the camera and all that. We get it. You know, this is no different than talking about ESPN apologizing for this Feast of Dionysus comparison to the Last Supper, especially because there was drag queens there. Let's just be honest. Y'all don't want to see no drag queens there, especially not in the center of that thing. You definitely don't want to see. That's unholy. That's devil. Come on, KJ. You can't be like that, man. That's what the Bible tells you. No man should be effeminate. Hey, again, no different than we say on this podcast, to each your own. However, masculine and feminine is in men. So you got to question yourself, how far effeminate is we talking? No, KJ, come on. That's not what the word effeminate is. Yeah, I know what the word effeminate means. Okay? We're not going it over on this podcast. Again, leave things for homework for folks. Study the mentality in which they look at y'all. There's a reason why they look at y'all that way. And it all ain't wholly inspired, by the way. It's got something to do with controlling folks. You control expression, you control the people. And you can use the Bible to do it. That is not how God made this. Anyway. Yeah, shout out to this brother, man. He made this thing look like he was on an anime show. He's spinning and moving. I mean, he just showed out, man. Yo, he showed out, bro. Congratulations to you, sir. Congratulations to you, right? Leads into another Team USian, Miss One Simone Biles. Yeah, Simone Biles. Shout out to you, sis. Those poo-pooing this girl in the Tokyo Olympics just 4 short years ago. You know, while we was all in the throngs of coronavirus. Oh, this woman, you can't walk off the battlefield and blah, blah. No, forget the fact the soldiers walked off the battlefield multiple times, because you call them deserters. No, ain't no need for y'all to be fighting. And guess what? If something wrong, and I never had a chance to talk about this, right? But here we are, a different view. No, you need to go home and rest your mind. See, again, massa make sure that you are worn out as possible. This way they can remove you off and put somebody else new in, because you already gave them all you could give them, right? You done conked out. Again, go look back at the plantation life, y'all. Let's show you exactly what goes on today. Be sure your sins will find you out. You can't hide it. That's why when people talk about conspiracy, they are using the word improperly. Ain't everything a secret plot. No, it's right out in the open in front of your face. They not paying you in front of your face. They done took away your job perks and workers perks in front of your face. You got very little recognition because they took it away from you in front of your face. Now that's a separate topic from you standing up for yourself. See, how do you fix that? Workers gonna have to stand together and re-get that which their bosses took away from them. As soon as we get a hold of that, the thing will look better at work. Just saying. We're not talking about a fun fest where nobody is doing work and getting things done. We talking about where massa don't work you to the bone. There's a difference. Like the hard work that we keep talking about went on with our dear, ancestors, and those who are older in our families, or our tribes, as we like to say on this podcast, who are our elders. The abuse they went through. Long hours they worked. That was done by design, y'all. That wasn't because of the workload. Ain't no more workload then than now. It's just easier to do it. It's a little bit easier to do it now because you got cell phones and more automated stuff. I digress. That's a whole topic for a different day. Simone Biles, man. No, mental health is a real thing. And we're going to get into August month because it's August 1st, y'all. Huh? Shout out Leo and Virgo season, right? To those of y'all who will have a birthday in this month and upcoming, happy birthday to y'all, right? Let me just type this in real quick so that we can go over some things toward the end of this episode. About August, so that we know what's coming as we go along here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Anyway, okay. Let's go, y'all. That was a live and in living color ooh-wee moment, right? Let's see how far we're at. 15 minutes. Okay. So, yeah, Simone Biles, you're doing your thing. Stamp your ticket, sis. Too much has people played around in this world and in this life with this idea of not giving credit to the darker skin tone folks on this planet. I'm gonna keep saying it. And because of that, you open up the door for this weird environment where we start discrediting everybody. This is why cultural appropriation has become such a topic, because you fell into the trap of massa where you do not give proper credit where it's due. And then it's easier to take. And guess what? Because you do it to one group of people does not stop it. It goes to everybody. You better start giving accreditation to where it's due, y'all. And that's more than just a letter and a thank you, by the way. It starts there, but it's more than... That's why when you're talking about doing the thank you thing to the veteran, yeah, that's where you should start. But again, even your Bible talks about how the priests praise with people, long pretenses. It don't mean nothing. Like the movie Jerry Maguire's Show Me the Money. And they do these little cute little speaking points at these governmental conventions, whether it's a Democratic Party or a Republican Party. Both of them mean to use the veteran to a greedy end and not for them, to rip apart their families, their own physical body, and their mind at the cost of their pocketbook and wallet, not yours. The sooner we catch it, y'all, the easier this will be. And you do not have to be violent about it. We don't have to keep causing the harm that was caused to us. Yes. And amen. Continuing on, as far as the Olympics go, shout out to South Sudan. Again, over in Africa, right? Shout out to South Sudan. Being the first, or not being the first, it's been a long time since they won a men's basketball game. So shout out to you, gentlemen. Right? Shout out to Team USA on that rugby thing. That lady's a powerhouse who took the ball to the end zone in rugby there and helped secure a win for Team US. Right? So a lot going on with the Olympics. I got this little note here. The Olympics is a time to do, or to see, I should say, what nations don't like doing, which is speaking about watching and seeing other nations successful because we bought into massa. Let's see it. Let's put this in real time here so y'all understand. I brought up the medal count, right? Because we all like looking at this medal count. There's a whole lot of things going on. You got time and all that kind of thing. So sometimes it's kind of hard to keep it all together. 16 days of competition, right? 14 days, whichever one it is. So it's hard to see the successes of people, especially when you got the governments of the world here, and sports does this. Y'all get this deep down in your psyche, this idea where you want to watch a football game to escape life. The football game is happening in life, so that's kind of hard to do. See, again, we like doing the DID thing, and yes, there is a thing where you have to relax in your mind. Okay, there are points where you come away to rest. Even the Bible talks about how Jesus came away from the crowd to rest. There is a real thing with that. But living in a life where you consistently use something and then never recognize when real life intertwines with the thing or interacts with it, yeah, it's a little silly because life is still going on, y'all. You're duping yourself. You're deceiving yourself to think that because you're watching a basketball game, real life ain't going on. That's silly. That's silly, right? And you see it clear as day, right? A lot of these videos I've been seeing of folks putting up what's going on with parents at these ball games and stuff. Y'all gotta stop. We acting like big babies at these things. Even if your kid was going to go pro, do you really think you're helping the chances of that child by acting like a douchebag like that? No, you're not. No, you're not. The agents, when they come calling to your kid, are going to have a problem with you. and you make it harder for them to be signed by somebody. Stop acting like a bottle baby. Then you won't call your kids bottle babies when the parents are acting like this. What are we doing, y'all? Anyway. So the Republic of China's up there with 21 medals right now. France is up there with 26. Japan's got 15. Australia's got 17. See, it's just good to say these things out of the mouth, y'all. Of course, the United States is 31. Great Britain has 20. Korea has 12. Italy has 13. Right? Canada's got 7. Germany with 6. And so on. Okay. This is something you can look at. I pulled it up. It's on the Olympic website. So Olympics.com. You can just look up the medal count. Right there. As we continue on in the thought here today, as we speak, here is a powerful one as far as relationships go. Because again, just because we finished the relationship series last year does not mean relationships end, right? They still continue. And again, we discussed that the definition of the word relationship, deals with the idea of that which is an affinity and how you relate to people of different types. So you can have a business relationship. It's not just romantic. You can also have a romantic relationship. You can have a relationship with your animal. Now, of course, bestiality goes to a whole other level, but we're talking about the connection that is between the animal and human kingdom, right? There's multiple ways, there's multiple areas of which a person can have a relationship. In this one, we're talking about the marriage dynamic, okay? Which again, we have established on this podcast is not just heterosexual. Now, for those who believe it is, so be it. But for our homosexual brothers and sisters here, as a family, we say this to you. A couple days ago, and this is to everybody, by the way, not just homosexual, but this is also to encourage those of which nobody has given any information to. Like, how are we doing that? And people live in a society together, so now you're going to hold down the homosexual ones and you hurt yourself as a heterosexual community. But I digress. Not to mention that both things operate the same whether you're heterosexual or homosexual. Again, I digress. In being the jokester that your boy is, chilling, hanging out, doing my thing one day, right? And somebody just comes into the room where I'm working, right? So I do the little, because again, your boy watched a lot of cartoons, man, right? At 44 years old, we done grown up on the OG Looney Tunes, shout out one time, right? Mel Blanc and the gang. We done grown up on Tom and Jerry. I've seen a lot of stuff that was based in a lot of racist type things, but that's besides the point, right? Right? We let's see what else. Of course, American Tail with Fievel Mousekewitz and all that. So we have seen a lot of cartoons over time, right? A lot of animated stuff, and very good stuff. So from that, a lot of things stick in the mind, like when someone comes in the room and you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, and you just stop. You know, say for instance you're on a diet. You know this stuff you ain't supposed to be eating. You go downstairs or wherever your fridge is for a late night snack. And it just so happens that either your spouse, significant other, partner walks right in on you like, whoop, and you just stop and pause with, normally right before you take the bite of the cake in your hand. So I did that kind of thing, right? Everybody got a good laugh. One of the other people there, while I'm there, they mention and say that, hey, you must be married. Oh, you're damn right I am, right? Again, ladies and gentlemen, stop. So yeah, there's stages to life. You need the single life. You need the dating life. You need all of the various stages. They make you whole as a person, correct? But when we're talking about as you enter into each one of those stages, understand neither of them is uncool. Enjoy your journey as you go. Right? That's a real thing. And specifically on the marriage one, we got to get to the point where, ladies and gentlemen, especially when you're talking about nation building time, as this thought is out there, If family and family business and passing down wealth and all that kind of thing is the name of the game, repairing that which is done, y'all, family dynamic is a real thing. Now, that looks different depending on the different person, but getting a family environment going is very necessary. And it is cool, and it also needs to be worked upon. So yeah, I'm married, and I'm happy about it, and I'm satisfied about it. And I thank God for my wife, right? Just like we should be okay with the partners, the significant others, however you want to say it in your life, husband, wife, however, be thankful for them in your life. Right? This is the trap that you fall into while we have problems in our relationships, because in reality, we are not thankful for the folks and all that. Come on, somebody, understand what's the heart of the matter. Not really thankful. You start falling into the doldrums of things. That's the trap of massa. See, this is why we should fight for worker representation so you can go home and stop being at the plantation all day long. And love on your babies, love on your wife, love on your husband, love on your partner, right? Because if you don't, there is a cold world out there that's okay breaking it up, because the idea is to formulate family. Never mind. So, part of this dynamic here, the powerful thought that came out as I'm joking along here, and this comment is made about me being married, is this idea. Because don't you notice there's another way that happens? When you're a kid and your parent walks in on you on something that you probably should not be doing, right? We're not talking about where the dynamic's thrown out of balance. We're talking about where you're actually doing something you shouldn't be doing, right? Be honest with each other, okay? And then what happens is this wild fact that came to my mind. The idea that you get married and you leave home, right? We're talking about what the Bible, what your Bible, what the Bible say. Yeah. So it tells you, right? This is what I mean. We sit in church hooping and hollering, nobody hearing nothing, man. We ain't nobody learning anything. You can sit there and the hymn all day long too. You sit there and learn nothing, right? Just enough for you to be dangerous, not to be effective. See, the idea of submitting one to another is very real, y'all. That doesn't end when you leave the house. You got to be okay with, if you on a team, right? Seems like Team US in basketball is starting to get it. We'll see how far that goes toward the end of all this at the Olympics. But this idea where your team, and you ain't lording over nobody, and you can see how divorce courts are full of broken lives and dreams and hearts, because folks did not buy into a teamwork concept. They didn't pick correctly, and if they did pick correctly, they didn't do what was necessary. There's no husbandman going on, right? That word husband deals with a gardener. Ain't nobody working and tilling the field. See, this is why when it comes to sexual things, y'all better get it reeled down real quick. You better be okay gardening that garden, man. You better be okay with it. See, a lot of the freaky stuff people want to sit there and talk about, as much as they made fun of this whole Greek feast here, is this idea that is real, but you got to understand the desires of your other partner, your teammate, y'all. You got to. This idea of staying away from it and somehow magically it's going to, just download in your brain like an update ain't going to happen. Matter of fact, y'all going to have a lot what happened with that cyber strike a couple of days or weeks or whatever ago, right? Where that update going to go wrong. And then it's going to look bad. It's going to look so bad. And then again, you got a lot of tears and you got a lot of heartache. And you got no. When do we put an end to that? Learn about sex, y'all. Learn about human interaction. Stop listening to the mess that's been told to you all this time, because it was told to you partially. Questioning why that partiality occurred is a whole other topic, but the information you learned was partial. When you leave your parents' house, to finish this thought, do not think there isn't another person that you're going to have to answer to. The parent stage is over. Now, again, in certain healthy dynamic, it don't never go nowhere, right? We're talking about the ones where it's somewhat unhealthy. Don't let that experience ruin the next one you go into, because that dynamic is still necessary. We got to listen to each other, and listen to how I said that. We got to listen to each other. You won't get so husbandly, man, that you can't listen to your wife, who is your help, your partner. You're going to have a problem. Vice versa. Saying what it is, y'all. See, again, because of sexism has put so much damage there, just like racism has put so much damage there, there's a lot of love that needs to be entered in order to fix the hurt. Still responsibility to each other, but there's a lot there that has to fix the hurt, right? Okay. So, let's go on here. We are sitting at 30 minutes. Y'all give me just a few more, and then we are going to talk about this national month, and we're going to go about our day. The definition of philosophy, right? We said with disciple, to bring back to the remembrance, a follower, a student, of a teacher, leader, or philosopher. Of course, a philosopher is somebody who deals in philosophy. So what is philosophy, KJ? The study of the fundamental nature of knowledge, reality, and existence, especially when considered as an academic discipline. Shout out to our Asian brothers and sisters. Now, again, this happens a lot in the world all over the place. However, maybe we want to say it this way, because a lot of knowledge has been hidden. The definition of discipline that we see in front of our eyes lately has been our Asian brothers and sisters. They stay together when they get married. We're talking about stuff studied, like numbers, right? You don't see a whole lot of breakaway from certain traditions as it should be. And while movies like Mulan show us that, again, every tradition is not full and complete in thought, right? That there is still the belief to stay stuck to those things is necessary. I think something that affects our black brothers and sisters is the point that, do they know? See, that word culture is thrown around. That word garden, again, that's what culture is meaning, is thrown around a lot. But do y'all have anybody who are the cultivators? Do you have any gardeners, y'all? Anybody adding any fertilizer, adding any water, adding any food and nutrients to the game? Do you know where that stuff is? Go back in time. See how we operated. I mean, past slavery. Also, during slavery. See how we operated as a team on the plantation before Master started playing the house and field Negro game, right? Because that same game is done with the rest of humanity today. Somebody thinks that they're high. Somebody thinks that they're low. When in reality, y'all all on the plantation. And that's the part that we try to disassociate from, right? Fundamental, when you see that word, the study of fundamental in the definition of philosophy that comes from Oxford's dictionary, right? Forming a necessary base or core of central importance. What is necessary? To the base, to the core, that is of central importance in your life. Right? That would make up the central importance of the nature of knowledge and of reality. I know this is the part where people normally go really spooky, but they miss the seriousness of this. And then you continue on in the doldrums of your life because you never renew your mind. This happens to us all. Of existence. This is why we talked about what is human purpose. Dress and keep this planet. Very simple. Very simple. Thank God this thing is simple. People make it complicated. I want to say it again. Life is very simple. You've heard me say it on this podcast before, but again, what? Repetition is necessary for learning. So to you cool cats and kittens, life is very simple and fair. People are not. People are complicated. They make it complicated, right? Loving on each other ain't hard. Folk don't want to love on each other. So this is all the mess that you see as a result. All right. So as we close out today, let's talk about what this month brings us. Again, other than people's birthdays that come up this month, which again, shout out to the birthday folks, to the Leos, to the Virgos, right? One time, whoop, whoop, right? Enjoy, have a good time, be aware of the environment around you because people don't mean you well, right? This thing applies to the Leo and the Virgo as it does to Pisces, Sagittarius, Cancer. I don't care. And I don't care which culture has a different zodiac, although it is cool to see the different forms of things. I know to our Christian brothers and sisters, they don't pay attention to that yet. Your names are written in the stars. That's from your Bible. You got a God who knows the hairs on your head. That's from the Bible. We're talking about the one that created this thing. Anyway, okay. August is National Breastfeeding Month. Shout out to our mamas, the life givers out there, y'all. You know how folks, because again, they got a problem with nudity. See, you let massa download in your mind massa garbage so much that you don't know what life looked like, man. And then you start critiquing people off of it. National Breastfeeding Month. Shout out to the women. Put what's good in your body. Put what is good in your body for you to breastfeed your child properly, if you so choose. That which comes from the earth, comes from this life in your body. Nourish it, ladies, so that you can feed your child properly. They got nothing but junk out here for us. Nothing but junk. It's almost getting to the point where it's harder to find the good in this life. National Immunization Awareness Month. You got school coming back up, y'all. For some places. For others, y'all gonna be doing that mad dash getting ready for September, right? Different coasts, right? Different strokes for different coasts. To rob from that 80s TV show. Shout out Gary Coleman. Yeah, guys, no. Let's end the silliness. Okay? Get your immunizations. We understand how they pump stuff full of, listen, get what you need so that you live a healthy life, so that you can be down here for a long time to help folks. I know for those who don't want to be, that's again your choice, okay? And no, I am not encouraging suicide on you. Before we go there, we're talking about people have a choice, y'all. This is how serious it is. Love the people in your life before they're not there anymore. Matter of fact, maybe you loving them will keep them here longer. No different than make sure you get your immunizations for you and your babies, y'all, right? Also, Black Business Month. Woo woo. Y'all in an environment where massa don't want everybody profiting because it steals from their profit. Understand, the more we all profit, the more there is to profit from. Black Business Month. Support your black businesses. To our dear brother, to our dear so-called black brothers and sisters, support your black businesses. We're talking how finances work, y'all. Spend the money inside your own community just as much, if not more, as you do in others. That's not a diss to the other ones. That does not mean we all have to get into some all-out war because of it. Okay? As we hear the Snoopy song in the background, been a while for that. Let that play. Got my dog Fiona here, you know, just chilling, relaxing while I'm talking to y'all today. What's going on, little girl? Yes. Happiness Happens Month. Started in 2000 by the Secrets. I don't have to see. Again, everybody like dealing with this secret thing, man. What happens in secret come out in the open. Secret Society of Happy People to encourage people to pursue happiness every day. Summer Sun Safety Month. Be careful out there, y'all. Just because it's hot and the days, the hours are longer, and it doesn't mess with time and stuff, don't mean you lose your good senses. That don't change no matter what time of the year it is. Back to School Month. Okay, which looks like includes National Farmers Market Week. Again, support your farmers. You need your farmers and butchers, man. The way they playing with food today, you get to know them. There's black farmers out there too, y'all. Get to know them. International Day of the world's indigenous people. So that's a day that's involved. As a matter of fact, let's just look at that real quick and see what day that is. Because this is something new to me. So we want to know, right? We want to know. Looks like it's going to be August 9th, y'all. So on the same day when Borderlands comes out. Funny how that's a movie about different people fighting for their own, off a video game where people are fighting for their existence. International Day of the world's indigenous people. So, just some things to, just some things. It's not time to look away. It's time to look into. That's the point. Look into. So, that's what I got for y'all today. Thank you for walking this road with me. I know we went a little long, but again, some things need to be said. And as always, and until next time, look to find the beauty in a different view.